Hey everyone, welcome back to Care Friction. I'm your host Subhankar. I know the channel has been inactive for some time as I was having some health issues. But now I am back and today we are going to look into the changelings from the Icelandic folklore, which are given a slightly different rendition in the Icelandic TV series Katla. If you haven't seen Katla, it depicts dead people emerging from a volcano named Katla and how that affects the inhabitants of a small town. And it's not just dead people, some of them are alive too. These versions of the people are called the changelings, and the series links some folklore to them too. So anyways, you should watch this series and let's get straight to the point. Changelings are human-like creatures that are found abundantly across European folklore. A changeling is believed to be a fairy or an elf child that had been left in place of a human child stolen by the fairies or elves. However, it's not just fairies or elves. For instance, in Nordic folklore, it is believed that trolls or subterranean beings changed children. Now, it is believed that most supernatural beings from Scandinavian folklore are afraid of iron. So the parents would put an iron tool on top of the cradle of the infant to prevent being abducted by the trolls. Now let's dive into the Icelandic folklore of the changelings. As I have mentioned that the series has its own folklore about changelings that adds an eeriness to the mystery which I won't spoil for you. Let's start by talking about the Icelandic elves. Stories of elves and the hidden folk have been around in Iceland for centuries. Their origin story is thought to be derived from the Bible story of Eve's dirty children. It so happened that once God visited the Garden of Eden, and so Eve had to wash and clean her children. But she couldn't clean everyone and tried to hide the unwashed ones. God found these dirty children and cursed them to be forever invisible to men, and hence they came to be known as the hidden folk. There are plenty of stories about hidden folk taking revenge on humans that have wronged them, and one of their favorite tricks to play on humans is stealing their babies and leaving an old elf changeling in their place. Then there is a folklore legend called the Father of 18 in Elfland. Once there was a farmer's wife, and on one summer day, she was at home and looking after the house with only her 4-year-old son. She went out to do some chores, leaving the boy alone. And when she returned home, she witnessed her quite gentle child was behaving unusually, like yelling, kicking, and crying in a strange way. After this, the boy never spoke a word, was always crying, and stopped growing. The mother visited another woman to find a solution, and the woman replied that her son is a changeling and suggested her a way to get back her real son. The mother then followed her advice, left the child in the kitchen floor, and made sure he saw something new and curious. Then the boy suddenly stood up and said, "Now I am as old as my beard may show, a father of 18 in Elfland, but I have never seen such a long shaft in such a wide pot." Then the mother beat the changeling with a rod, which made him scream loudly in pain. Then a strange woman entered the kitchen, gave her son, and took the changeling, who was actually her husband. This is one way of how elves steal children by kicking and squeezing their husbands until they are small enough to be changelings and exchanged with human children. Another way, according to the folklore, is that elves would steal children by charms. When children are left alone, elf women will often put on both the form and dress of their mother or someone whom they love, approach them in order to lure them away from home. There are a lot of stories about changelings and stealing children in Icelandic folklore, most of which are connected to the hidden people. So that was all about the changelings from the Icelandic folklore. Now if you watch Katla, you will see that in essence the changelings are similar in physical characteristics, that they are lookalikes as in the folklore, but their purpose of existence in the TV series is very different. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you soon.